Hi, everybody. It's me. It's a Froggie. How's it going? I just wanted to say I'm back with another episode of Titans, episode 5. I forgot what this one's called again, but I want to point out I have a new guest today. I've never seen this guy
on my own channel.
Are you?
So Azim, that's what you called me.
Yeah, I guess you are, because this is the I Love Froggie show.
Yes, it is. If you can't tell, this is Froggie's show. I am simply guest starring. Yes, this is a unique experience for me.
Yeah,
maybe I get to do the wild, crazy antics. Can I fly? No, I can't fly.
Okay. Anyway, I think we should hop right into the recap, because I want to make this quick and sweet and less painful for anybody who's watching.
Well, you go ahead and take it away, Froggie.
All right. So basically, what happened in this episode? This is basically what happens. This is right after the last episode where Jason and Nightwing fought, and Jason escapes with Dr. Crane. So then we get 3 months ago flashback, which takes place before episode 1. We know that Jason's been having nightmares. It's shown here. Even Bruce comes in, sees him there. He's like, Jason, you're fine. Here. And then he says, well, maybe we should go see a friend of mine. He's like, what, like a shrink? Yeah. And he says, no, Leslie Tompkins, basically. So this is kind of cool. We get to see Leslie Tompkins in Titans. And guess what? She's not mean. She's nice. She's actually, I was like, oh my gosh. The only the non-edgy person on the show is Leslie Tompkins. She's not edgy. She is actually a sweetheart. Anyway, and Jason basically because he's basically forced to go this because he can't be Robin until he gets a clean bill of health. And so he goes to start seeing Leslie, and at first he's kind of snotty to her and all this stuff. And here's a funny scene there. She's like, you saw this. Remember when they do like the word test?
Yeah, where a word association.
Yeah. So Leslie goes mother.
I can't say that word. He goes Froggie.
Nah, he goes
mother F word.
Mother effer. Yeah. And so at first he's hesitant, but he kind of she gives him a speech about how they see the actually what happens is he saw a picture of Dr. Crane on her desk. He knew right away that's Scarecrow. And she says, well, he used to be a colleague of mine, and then but he became obsessed with fear. And Jason's like, well, have you ever been dosed with fear? What was that like? The fear gas. And she's like, it was the most horrific thing ever I experienced. And I almost died. Bruce saved me. And then so Jason's here right there. Jason basically is kind of curious, fear gas. Because right now, for those who haven't been watching, Jason last season he fell almost to his death as Slade kicked him out of the window. So he's got nerves. He's shaky. That's why he's having the nightmares. So he's thinking in his head right now, oh, this guy knows how to control fear. So he's kind of thinking about that. Anyway, those two, Leslie, the next couple of days, Leslie and Jason meet together, and they start to form a bond. They start trusting each other. We're at a point where, and Leslie even says, like, hey, no matter what happens, if you decide you want to be Robin, you can go back to being Robin. If you don't want to, it's okay. She's like, just being afraid doesn't mean you're broken. Yeah. And she's there. She's a sweetheart. I love this.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't think Bruce would have hired her if she were a hard ass. So.
Well, he didn't really hire her. It's just that she's known Bruce's secret. She's actually, for those who know in the comics, Leslie actually really helped Bruce through his childhood.
Mm-hmm. I will say that I can tell what they're trying to do, but maybe I should save this for the end. I should save it for the end. The frog is explaining what happened. I'm just here and I'm going to relax a little. Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Froggie. Next round.
All right. So while this is going on, the whole therapy and stuff and all. Outside of that, Jason has a friend who basically she's named Molly. And he meets her at a coffee shop. They kind of talked a little bit, and she asked him, like, well, it's strange. She's like, I haven't seen you since before you went to Gotham, or Gotham went to San Francisco. did something happen in San Francisco? Because you're different. He's like, and Jason kind of brushes it off. And at this point, Jason really hates talking about Titans and all stuff. You know, what happened.
Yeah.
The full falling out. And he kind of flirts with her a little bit, you know, kind of likes her, and she likes him a little bit, you can tell. And then she turns her laptop and she's like, you know what? We need to talk about this, you know. Look, you know, he's like, okay, what is this? Some kid named Diego was kidnapped, and he's not the first. There's been a bunch of kids being kidnapped, and then the word on the street is this guy who working for the Joker is taking kids, you know, and delivering them. So right here, I am kind of disturbed because are they implying what I think they're implying? Or
I don't think so, but I
hope not, because this is Titans. Everyone has to be edgy, and everyone has to be hateful.
Yeah, no, it makes no sense to buy that for the Joker of all people.
Well, I don't know what he'd be using them for experiments, you know, but I don't know. Anyway, so
maybe he's trying to put a smile on their face. Oh,
you are canceled, sir.
Go on. All
right. Anyway, so Jason still hasn't told this girl they know that he's Robin. So, and he's like, well, let's go pay this guy a visit. He's like, you know, she's like, what do you mean? It's like, we just call cops, you know, let them know who he is. No, that's when the bear guy. I just want to see where this guy is, you know, because before they even do that, before they go to visit this guy, she mentions like, well, he's like, don't worry. Like, basically, he says to her, Batman will stop this guy. Don't worry about it. And she's like, Batman doesn't care about no little brown kids. Batman only cares about the rich. And I'm thinking, somebody show her a comic book where he saved black kids, you know, and actually met your kid. The whole Lucius Fox angle, Luke Fox. I mean, Batman's not racist, and he doesn't just work for the rich.
No.
She needs to stop watching Gotham News Network, whatever he has Rachel Maddow talking.
Mariah is saying that I'm canceled. Oh no, is that why you've taken over?
Well, this is my show. I mean, originally you didn't want to do Titans with me, so I finally forced him to watch it.
Yeah, he sat me down, he tied me up, and made me watch all of it.
And I put a smile on his face.
No, there was no smile on my face.
Oh, that's mine.
Evil. Anyway, go on.
Anyways, yeah. So after the whole little comment, they go visit this guy, and this guy looks like a creepy. He's sitting on the basically the hood of his car, and he's got it's like 15 or 16-year-old girl with him, you know, and he's got a brown paper bag with a bottle in it of alcohol, and she's like, oh, this tastes kind of funky. I'm thinking, is he giving her like, you know, what you call a roofie drug? But anyway, Jason shows up, you know, with Molly. I'm not surprised that Molly came along too, because, you know, that was weird. You know, I think Jason would have went by himself, you know, because just you can't let him know that you're Robin. You know. Anyway, so they're there, and Jason calls him up. He's like, he says like, hey, you don't want what this guy's offering. He's a creep. And the guy's like, oh, he's like, here, have the bottle. No, I'll talk to you later. She walks away, and then Jason walks up to the guy and basically like, he's looking up at him because he's shorter than him. That's the one thing that's funny about that. Jason is short in this. I don't care what you put on him, a red hood or anything, whatever. He's short, the actor, and like Jason just kind of like glares and stares at him, and then like the guy's like, hey, you can't look at me. Only people who have served time can look at me. I'm like, wait. So I have to be in jail in order to look at you a certain way?
Yeah. It works that way under the bridge, too.
Well, you don't make eye contact on the bridge. That's extra.
I'm not supposed to?
No, I'm not supposed to. That's extra.
I've been cheapening myself.
No wonder you're not giving me the extra money. Man, what the heck, bro? I'm going to slap you later on. But anyway.
That cost extra.
You work for me.
Go ahead.
Okay. So Jason and him, the guy, you know, Jason's getting his face, and then Molly says something. So Jason, like, classically, cliché, you know, is a cliche. He turns around, he's focused. The guy pistol whips him, And then he starts kicking the crap out of Molly's like, no, stop it. I'm thinking, like, what did you think was going to happen? You don't have mace? She doesn't have a gun? You're in Gotham.
Yeah, no, they're just stupid.
So Jason, so the guy, after, like, literally kicking Jason's ribs into his gut, into his heart and all that stuff, leaves them, drives away. And then we see Jason later on, he's got the shiner, but he won't say anything to Bruce. And it's kind of funny. Bruce even asked him, like, "You want to tell me what's going on?" He's like, "Oh, nothing, no." Actually, where we see next week, the cutscene is going to Jason. He's in the Batcave, and he's going through. And this is probably the best part of the whole entire show. He's looking at all the artifacts from all Batman's villains and friends. They got it looks like Ra's al Ghul's sword or dagger. I'm not sure who it is, but it has writing. It's like ancient writing on it, on etched into the sword blade. Then we have Catwoman's goggles, and her whip, and it looks like the New 52 goggles, the red. Yep. We got Scarecrow's freaking mask in there. That is freaky, and I really hope that he puts it on this season, or he gets another one. What else is in there? The fear toxin is in there.
Face.
The fear toxin is in there. We even have Two-Face's quarter. And then the other one that was really cool in there, and I know you got a pop when you saw that. Scarface is in there.
Well, why? Do you think I'm a dummy?
Well, no, I just know you like that comic book.
I do. It's actually a really good origin. We might cover it one day on I Love Puppets, or I Love Comics, really. But it is a really good story, and the design for the dummy is fantastic.
Yeah, you dummy. Let's go. Anyway, while Jason picks up the fear toxin, he's holding in his hand. And Bruce comes out and is like, "Oh, what you looking at? Looking at my antiques?" He's like, "Oh, nothing." He's like, "This admiring stuff." And then he talks, and Jason talks to Bruce, and Bruce asks him about the shiner, kind of ignores it. And I forgive, my memory's a little lapsed because I watched this like yesterday morning. I think basically what happens is Jason ends up going to see Dr. Crane after this. Or no.
Not after this.
No. He goes to see Leslie Thompson again, and they have another talk, and that's where she says, if you want to be Robin at the end, you can be Robin. If you don't, and then as we see him walking home from the appointment, Bruce picks up the car. They go visit Crime Alley, and it's basically right out the theater where Bruce's parents were killed, and they have a talk. And this is where this is kind of irritated me. Like Bruce says, like, Jason, I love you, and you're kind of messed up, but I don't want you to be Robin anymore. And then Jason gets like, what? You can't take this away from me. You've become weak. There's a whole thing. You talked to Leslie, didn't you? She spilled the beans, and he's like, no, I never talked. It's it's you guys, between you. No.
This is the worst part right here. Why? Because Bruce says in this moment, he's been calling him son now, because that's what he is to him.
Yeah.
He's his son. And he says, you don't have to wear a mask to be my son.
Yep.
Well, I want you to give up Robin. And Jason takes it completely the wrong way and acts like a spoiled little brat. You can't take this away from me! Ah! Like that.
Well, he brings up how Dick Grayson has done so many other things, but you'll continue to favor him no matter what. He's your golden child. So yeah, Jason's jealous of Dick. He doesn't like Dick.
Yep.
Meanwhile, Tim's out there somewhere, and we only seen him in the first episode, so we have no idea where Tim Drake is. You're thirsty?
Yes, it's very good.
Don't worry, Dick Grayson will be back. Don't worry, Dick will be back next episode.
Yeah, this episode, I guess I should let you finish before I.
Well, yeah. Is your throat thirsty? Let me finish. All right. So after this, they had a whole falling out. Jason walks away and runs away and stuff. Like a little brat. He calls up Leslie Tompkins. Says, "You talked to him. I thought we were friends. The whole time you lied to me." and blah blah. And she hangs up the phone, or he hangs up the phone on her, and then he ends up going to see Dr. Crane. First, and he pretends to be a cop, working with the GCPD. I'm thinking like, dude, you're like 15. There's no, or 16 or 17. There's no way you're working for the police. And I just love how Crane's in there basically like he's like, because at first, because for those who don't know, Crane he uses like flour or some kind of chemical concussion because his brain is messed up, so they just let him like he's just basically hitting a bong full of flour of his own concoction. This is really weird. Like, you think Arkham, they just give him medicine to help him, instead he creates his own. Anyway, so
yeah, no,
Crane to do so, like, it's like, I don't know, it's like, if you're a cop, you would know that I'm a cop informer, and you don't know that whatsoever. It's like, what do you want? He's like, well, and Jason says, like, I know you can you're expert at making people see their greatest fears, but you must be able to make a counterproductive in the agent where it makes people do not see fear whatsoever. And Crane, he's like, you know what? I might be able to do that, but what's in it for me? He's like, it's like, but wait. He's like, Crane starts putting two to two together. He starts realizing, like, oh, you're a wealthy kid. You're like, where you come from. Oh, Crane figures out that he's Robin right away. And then, using his advantage, he says, well, I will help you with, I'll tell you what you need, but I want information. I want you to tell everything about Batman. And so they trade information. Crane figures out, is basically told by Jason that Bruce is Batman and all this stuff. He gives him, and this is where we get our little Breaking Bad like little scenario going on. Jason gets the little warehouse, which you saw in the first episode, first or second episode, and he's making all these chemicals and he's putting them into like an inhaler and he's coughing them. I'm thinking, dude, you'd be dead after the first puff if you get that wrong. You're mixing chemicals. You don't know what you're doing, And he keeps doing it. Finally, he gets one and his eyes glow like freaking like Vixen from the CW. You see, and they glow yellow, and he's like, I'm no longer afraid. And what's really weird about this is, and this is my theory, this chemical makes him not afraid, but also it makes him under suggestion. I think he's being used by Scarecrow. And what weird is, but as far as mind control, he's manipulated.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely. I see what you're saying.
That's what he huffed in the very first episode before going after the Joker.
Yep. And they show that scene again.
Yep.
And it's just, they go through that scene, his death, and then he ends up waking up in like this vat of liquid. It's not a Lazarus pit.
It looked like Lazarus pit because
it might look like it, but I don't think it is. I think it's in the hospital. So
because he said our friend left something special behind. Bruce Batman didn't get all of it, so I think it is a Lazarus pit that's underneath the hospital or near the hospital.
That's a weird position for a Lazarus pit, but maybe. So that means that Jason's back. He's back.
Well, yeah, because look, I want to point out, we see Jason's face is busted in, his jaw's gone off. And then when a guy puts him in this little pit right here, he's fully submerged. We see his little tuchus. That was weird. I don't know why that's even in there. And he comes back up. He's like, rah, like Wolverine almost. Like his face is all healed again and everything. And then he's taken to this part in Arkham's, in basically the library or some hidden part where Crane's there. And this is where what music was playing? It was some kind of 60s song.
Trying to remember
something. I can't remember what it's called, but it was like it was just something. Anyway,
it's not "I Love You, Baby."
No, it's not that. No, in honor of Vita. I can't. Anyway, it's some psychedelic song, and you see Crane's just dancing to it, and he's like, have you got the music on? And then they start planning more stuff. It is just crazy. And then when he's like, well, you're no longer, and they basically, Jason creates a suit and says, like, you're no longer going to be Robin. You're no longer Jason Todd. Jason Todd's gone. You're gonna be a symbol in this fight in this fight against war against or take Batman and Gotham. And basically, you're going to use fear to control and all this stuff. Crane is like crazily manipulating him. Jason puts a suit on, and I gotta swear, it's like a different. It must be. I don't know if it's him in the suit or somebody else. I mean, the voice, the modulator, sounds nothing like him, unless they're using technology to make him sound deeper. But wow, the suit, we get a actual clean look at the suit for a change. It's always nighttime.
Yeah. I think this is. Is there anything else that we're leaving out?
I just want to point out the last part, though.
Okay, go ahead.
This is where Jason basically, starts going after people, and he is Red Hood. The first guy he goes after is remember the guy who's working for Joker, the guy who basically beat him to death, or not Joker. Joker beat him to death, but the guy who was getting the kids for Joker. And this is where he does like the Superman bit. Remember, if you ever watched a cartoon with Batman Superman, there's an episode where Batman was missing. He was abducted. He was mind controlled by Brainiac. So Superman had to step in as Batman, and he went against Bane and Jervis Tech. And as Jervis Tech ran down the hallway, all of a sudden he's back in front of his face, and he's got no matter where this guy ran, Jason would be like he'd step right in front of him, or stay right behind him. And the lights are going off, blue lights and stuff. It's a dark warehouse, and then he puts a gun in his hand. He's like, I'm going to let you tell your friends who I am. It's like, you're going to be your example. He's like, sure, I'll tell you who you are. He's like, and the guy's on the ground. He's got a gun pointed at his head, and Jason just pulls the trigger and blows his brains out. He's like, second nut, I'll just tell him myself.
Yeah.
Edgy. Yeah. Edgy. So the very last scene, we see Molly's in her apartment. She's getting waken up, and then we see Diego walks into her apartment. And then we see we see Red Hood, and then she knows right away who he is. She knows it's Jason.
Red Hood gives you wings.
Yep. So in a Gata de Vida, that's the song. Thanks, Marania. That's the song he was singing to. Very good song.
Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and give my thoughts on that, if that's okay.
Sure, might as well. And there's not really much else to say other than that. I liked certain parts of this. Overall, it was okay. But for those who were expecting to have more story, this was just like a filler. Taking out of place. You're like, because they basically we gotta record everything else, but randomly we're gonna put what happened between the seasons.
Yep.
In the 5th episode, which is really weird.
Yeah, that's weird. You know what else is weird? The idea that they think that they can redeem Jason.
Yeah,
that's
right.
What they're going for, and they can't. After what he did to Hank, which you strapped me down and made sure that I watched, even though I wanted to look away. What they did to Hank, that's unforgivable. Honestly, he should not be around. With what he did to Hawk, it's just too far. I don't care if he is being mind controlled partially, or he's being seduced to the dark side by Scarecrow. He needs to die.
Yep.
There's no
redeeming for him whatsoever. He needs to be shot in the head.
Yeah. But the actor, I think the actor is he's doing his job. He does his job well of playing an asshole. No offense to the actor. He does a good job.
Yeah, Marina points out that the Titans are using interesting songs for highlight plot points. Sloop John for Poor Hawk, he was singing that before he blew up.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Is Marania watching this?
I don't know. Maybe she's watching repeats or clips on YouTube.
Maybe.
Or maybe I mentioned.
I think that about does it, Froggie. Do you want to go ahead and give the wrap up?
Yeah. Luckily, this song, this episode didn't go without a bang, because that was horrible. I'm still mad that they only gave Hawk a mention for 10 seconds, not even 10 minutes actually, 5 minutes probably, for last week's episode. So, and then Dove's gone. I don't think that actress is coming back because, you can't have Dove without a Hawk unless they bring in Dove's sister, who replaced Hawk for a while as the new Hawk, up until Blackest Night. So they could bring in her. I think her name was Harmony. I'm not sure.
Well, another pretty face might make the show more bearable to watch.
Yep.
Do you want me to go ahead and say goodbyes?
Well, was that your final thoughts?
Yeah, my final thoughts is that this episode is just ridiculous because they think they can redeem him. All they show is that Jason is a little brat.
Yeah.
And honestly, he's gone too far. He needs taken down.
Yeah, my final thoughts for this episode. We got to see more of the Batcave. We got to see Batman stuff, trophies and stuff. No giant penny. No giant dinosaur. Didn't even see a Batmobile.
No.
That really irritates me. There's no Batmobile. It must. You know why? Because they don't give a crap about Batman. This is about Titans. Batman's in there just for like the guy that everybody makes fun of and beats up and just blames. You know. No crazy Barbara Gordon here. Holy crap! You polar opposites. Barbara Gordon is just just total B. And then I love the fact. I'll say it one more time. I love that Leslie Tompkins is such a sweet character, just like she is in the comics. They could have easily made her a total B as well. So I hope that she shows up more. I know that she did appear before in episode 2, I think it was, or episode 1 with when Dick went to go see her. Or maybe I'm thinking, or no, what? Maybe I'm mistaking that. I think that might have been in the comic book, Red Hood and the Outsiders, or something like that. Anyway, this is a very fun episode for me. It was the Jason parts. I'm like, I don't really care for that. Is Red Hood going around when he's in the suit? I like that. Outside, not so much. Molly, you're just here for political correctness. No, and what's going on?
I think that about does it.
Yeah. Give me more Tim. What was the point of showing him for the first episode for like a couple minutes, and then that's it? Nothing else. Are we getting another Robin? But if we're gonna have a Robin, is Jason gonna be Batman? Because there is no Batman.
Jason cannot be Batman. If they make Jason Batman, I will riot.
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, that was the whole plot. Like, is Bruce said, "Be a better Batman." He left.
Well, to Dick.
Yeah, to Dick. Sorry, my bad. I meant Dick.
You almost gave me a heart attack there, Froggie.
Because it's gonna come. I mean, because I know it'd be kind of upsetting me if the Dick become like Nightwing Batman this season, because he's only been Nightwing for so many episodes of last season. He finally became Nightwing last season. Now they're gonna put him like hey, you're Batman now. And if he becomes Batman, they can't blame Bruce anymore.
Yeah, they'll just blame Dick again.
Yep. So, and for my predictions for the next episode, we're gonna find more about Corey, and then maybe a little bit more about Raven and with Donna. Donna Troy's gonna come back this season. I feel it, but unfortunately, like I said, I think Hank and Dove are done.
It'd be nice if I gave a damn.
All right. With that being said, we're going to hop on out of here, but I want you guys to throw us a like, leave us some comments, whether you like us or hate us, or just want to be silly and leave a comment. I don't care. Comments are comments. They're interactions.
Yeah.
If you want to support us, we have a Ko-Fi link scrolling down below. We use it. Why we have a Ko-Fi link? Because I need money to build my rockets. He needs money because he needs knee pads under the bridge.
I need to buy comic books for Classic Puppet Theater, a show. In fact, we're going to have a new episode up tomorrow. Spider-Man issue 3. Be on the lookout for that.
Yep. So, yeah. And then if there's any comic books you want us to read, because we read these live, and we have other people join us too. We have the beautiful Marania. We have one of the Zacks jumps in, and occasionally you have Old Man Brain.
Yeah. So
if there's a comic book you want us to read, donate some money, and then we'll take a look at it, and we'll get to it as soon as we can. Or if you want to join in us and read with us, we just ask you, do you have a decent mic? I know, right?
Yep, it's a very easy consideration. I even just use the mic on my handy dandy laptop.
Cool.
Of course, I'm the host, so I get veto power.
Okay. Anyway, so that wraps it up for us, and just want to say one more thing. Thank you for watching me, and putting up with this guy. And we'll see you next time. Bye!
Bye!
Eat at Joe's.